All right. So I probably have gone through about an hour of Jimmy rigging my phone and laptop and various items in order to be able to do this right now. But I was gonna do it because when I be listening to tarot, especially these days, I always feel like, my gosh, thank her for putting out that message. So I feel called to record my messages today, and I actually did my very first reading while I was on the phone with someone. I didn't do a reading for them, but did a reading throughout our conversation actually, and it was really impactful. So I decided I'm gonna record it, and the couple of folks that I'm listening to very heavily, that I resonate with very heavily right now, one of the things that they always talk about is just like, do the thing, just do the thing that you want to do, follow your passion. So I'm off today. Look, I got time. I'm gonna make time. I feel like this is part of my spiritual practice, and so I'm gonna read anyway, right? So I'm gonna read anyway, so I might as well enjoy it with you. I'm really flying by the seat of my pants right now. One of the things that I really want to center is I'm growing, learning, and I'm sharing this learning and growing process with you. So no judgment, no judgment here. Constructive criticism will always be welcome, but no judgment here. No shame, no guilt here. We're going to spread positivity, light, and love, and speak life unto each other. So if you have things that you want to share with me, things you think I should check out, things that you think I should know, please feel free to share that constructively, share that as a generous, a giving, not a demand, but a giving, and I promise I will receive and reciprocate in kind. So I had started this reading, but my little Jimmy rig gave out on me, so I'm going to start over with everything that I had talked about in the beginning and then get started back into reading, which really it fell apart while I was reading the first card, so we haven't gone too far without each other. And I'm not going to edit this at all because I have no idea about none of that stuff. I'm sure I will get around to it later at some point of learning. But Spirit told me that was not required, that I just needed to channel. So that's what I'm going to do. I don't even have a YouTube yet. I'm going to make one. So that'll be that. Okay, let's go. All right. So decks that I'm using, because I do love when they tell me, so that I can go get my things. I'm using the Isis Oracle deck. This was gifted to me at a perfect time because all things are in divine timing. So beautiful Isis, Mother Isis, Divine Master Teacher. She's gonna give us the Oracle for this reading, and then I'm going to use, or the Oversight is how I visualize Oracle, the Oversight from the Oversoul. And then Mystic Beauty's Easy Tarot, Mystic Beauty's Easy Tarot. So I have this tarot deck, and I've had this tarot deck for about a month, and I just recently purchased, I don't know if you can see it, the Modern Witch deck, which seems to be very popular. But I got that one, honestly, because the witch in the front really resonated with me. I wanted, well, we'll get into that anyway. So I am practicing with this deck. It has a beautiful book that goes with it to help you learn. But I also am like always so excited and feverish about the messages that I'm channeling that I get frustrated and I want to have to read through each individual book. And so I don't know if that was part of her motivation for putting these together, because I have only been watching her for a short amount of time, like maybe like 2 or 3 months. But I absolutely love the fact that this exists. And I hope that she does more of this, like maybe even, easy oracle cards, or, something. I mean, the oracle card, I guess, is pretty self-explanatory, but yeah, but maybe, I don't know, maybe it's not. So yeah, I like this. I love it. It's like training wheels for me. So that's great. And, so some of the stuff that I talked about early on was I'm totally new to tarot. I've only been reading for myself for about maybe a month or so, and truly like awakened to the spiritual journey that I was on, maybe like the last like 6 or 7 months. So there have been periods of time where I've had spiritual awakenings, and but I struggle to put them into the modern box. And you quiet it down, you have those life changing or life affirming moments, and then you ride that high for a while, and then you learn how to put yourself back into that mental prison. And so I feel very strongly that there's a lot of new energy afoot, that Christ consciousness itself is returning. And in that, we're seeing all of ourselves return to some real basic tenets of life, like being kind to each other, respect, community, justice, accountability, these types of notions that are really, high moral code, really are becoming more and more present and felt and demanded to be in the 3D right now. So I consider that, and I'm learning. So please don't take anything that I say as gospel truth. I don't think there is such a thing. I think really that when we're studying the esoteric, that the point and the purpose is that there are many truths. There's duality, there's variation, there's basic elements, and then those things are flipped up, kind of like like being at the slots and the wheels change. Like it flips, and there could be a million different combinations, but the basics of it are pretty much the same. So I feel very strongly right now that if you are centering those, centering the pursuit of those ideas in your life, because we are not perfect, we are not perfect beings, we were never meant to be. Just like children, we are learning, we are growing. There's no level of perfection, but there are levels of mastery, right? Because we have math, and math is going to look very different in preschool than it looks in college, right? So there's levels of mastery to all of those life lessons, to all those central lessons that Spirit has for us. And so we are just continuously ever learning and practicing and exuding that mastery as we obtain it. And so I just, I feel like I've went off on a tangent. I just have been really focusing on that. And so that's where a lot of my learning, if you will, is coming from. It's very innate knowledge. It's not so much things that I'm reading in a book or online or even in the YouTube videos. Like I feel a very intrinsic pull to know more, and then I pick up what resonates with me and I leave everything else. Everything else. So as you're watching me, if you become inspired to do tarot, or to read tarot, or to tap into that side of yourself, because again, I feel like we are all one and the same as far as capability. They're just level of mastery. Then please don't feel tied to having or doing anything that I have up here. Like I'll talk about what I have and why I have it, but I might do a little research. I might feel called to do something. Like I felt called to build an altar, and I did a quick research of things I might want on it, and I started building it. And this has changed several times. Sometimes it changes every day, and I'm sure it'll change more the more knowledge that I come in Congress with throughout my life. And I feel like people and places and things are brought into our life to just help bring us back into congruence with Source. So that being said, and one more thing I do want to say is that I feel very much like and so certain things we know, I feel like certain things we know as a community, like that there are elements, like that gems have power, they communicate, they're conduits, all these things are different types of energies, or different collectives of energies, different so the same way like an image may convey multiple messages, a gem may convey multiple sets of messages, things like that, numbers, colors, signs, things like that. So right now in my center, what I call my center, my birthing place, if you will, really focusing on healing my root chakras. So the gemstones that I picked out when I went to the gem store were items that when I read the little, like, y'all, I even have them up here because I'm not playing, like I'm learning, okay? Like I am learning. As I see gems, I feel called, like I saw this and I felt called to this, and then I read about it, and where I was at that time, this was like, wow, I need that. I need that. And so I've kept that up in my space. And I'm going to keep it there until I feel like I don't need it right there anymore. Or I may keep it forever. Whatever I feel, that's what I'm going to do. So that's what's been leading me, is just a sense, or leaning into my system feeling, listening to my body when it's cold, when it's tingling, when it's hot, when it's frustrated, when it's nauseous, understanding those as signs, and really leaning into understanding what they mean. And again, new. New. So I'm not proclaiming nothing. Okay. All right. So we're using the Isis Oracle deck, and then I'm going to kind of fill in the lines of the story with Mystic Beauty's tarot deck. And so I'm going to start by reading the instruction card of how to use the Isis Oracle deck. And then I will, as I read through the Iris, the Wing of Iris spread, I'll talk about how I got the spread, and then you guys will actually see me flip or not flip, but receive cards from Source. So you'll see how that process works for me, and I'm really, again, learning. All right, so the way that I pulled this was I had gotten started and I was getting ready to do my shuffle, and this beautiful card was sitting right in front of my face, and it just felt like, okay, like, pick me up, like, you need to pick me up. And so so I did. And so this beautiful image of, I kind of like, I want to say portrait, like this beautiful portrait of Mother Isis, Queen Isis, sitting upon a throne, fully in her seat. She looks like she's on top of the world. She looks like she is in control of everything around her, through her, in her. And while she must have multi-focus, right? She must be doing a little bit of this, a little bit of that. She also has brought forth a child into the world and is nurturing and taking care of it. So I just really see this as almost like Isis saying, women are all things. Like, you don't have to try to do all things. You are all things. You are the original source. And you do it how you do it. Like, like, I'm really hearing that, like, get it how you live. There's a million different ways to be a woman. There's a million different ways to be a mother, a creator, a nurturer, a protector. So find how it calls out to you, and then sit in your seat, because you are divinely crowned. I see sun energy up here. This doesn't look like something that she got, for doing the little samba at the community dance, right? Like, this is something that she got through years of leadership and toil and growth and education and learning and teaching and receiving and giving. And she has now become what we would consider to be a master of those energies, and is now bringing that energy down into a new life, and just continuing this cycle of growth, leadership, and regeneration. And I really see for this child, this child that is coming in, this child, like, we always feel a sense of wanting our child to have more than we had. But I think what Isis is trying to tell us as mothers and as mothers, because also we carry the divine and feminine, divine feminine and divine masculine energy within all of us. That's our yin and yang. So you see it imprinted across all different types of religions in different ways. But there's always a head, there's always a male and a female head, right? There's always a male and a female energy. So when we're talking about that, I'm not talking about that from a genitalia type of space. I'm talking about that from an energetic space. And so we all carry this, and we all balance it, and it changes, like, almost like a movie, like it changes to morph to what is needed at this time. And so we are really seeing this child coming in to this divine feminine that has learned that she doesn't need to yearn to give her child more. She doesn't need to fear about what her child is going to come into. She doesn't need to have any sense of panic. She really can maintain a seat on her throne of balance, of ruling over all things in her life while keeping her child nourished, because she knows that through being that example, through living that example, this child will come in already more abundant. So I just really think that's a beautiful message, and I didn't even read it that far into it when I was doing the reading earlier. So this this card came out first, and it was the center of the wing. And so from there, I pulled cards to complete the rest of Isis's wing in a counterclockwise motion. No particular reason to that from my perspective outside of that's what I felt called to do and how to read it. So I'm going to read the instruction card. So it says the spread is called the Wing of Isis because it will help lift you into new understanding. Shuffle with an open mind and heart and either ask for guidance in unconditional love, generally or on a specific issue. Lay out your 5 cards from the left to right in a fanning wing shape. I also want to say, when we talk about imagery can mean so many things. So this energy may show up in your life so many different ways. So you really do, when you're listening to tarot and when you're reading tarot, you really need to tune in and listen to for yourself, right? For what you're trying to get out of it. Like if you're reading and you're trying to understand what the divine masculine is doing in your life right now, listen to the message and then frame that. Don't force it to fit your life, but try to reflect on if it resonates with anything for you. So like this child could be a literal child. Like this could be folks getting ready to, folks that have really done the work and have found their seat, that they're getting ready to come into union with somebody, right? Because we have this beautiful child draped in all this spirit and mystery, all this jade, this lapis lazuli. This child is abundant because his or her mother is abundance. Like not that she has abundant or she is abundant, but that she is the personification of abundance. So how could this child ever lack, right? So this could be something that she birthed. Like this could be a new idea, a new business, a new partnership, a new friendship. I really feel like it's something that will belong to you forever. Something that will belong to you forever. I really do hear generational wealth in this. This is something that's going to go on for millennia, right? Something that will outlast all of what will be a magnificent history of who this woman was, who this divine feminine was in a lot of people's lives, right? If she's at that level in a lot of people's lives. Okay. So then from there, I pulled cards and laid those out in the wing shape fashion. So I'm going to read this again because I think I stopped halfway through. So card 1 is, what is the real issue for me right now in the spiritual level? How can I best heal that in my day-to-day life? What will the gift or the outcome of this be? What is the biggest challenge or opportunity for me to get the best outcome? And lastly, for card 5, what special guidance is there to help me resolve this in the best way now? So I'm going to read that out again as I go through each card, but that's what we're reading for. And so as we're listening, you really do think about this like a story, like it's story time. Think about it like it's play time, and try to imagine who these people are to you. Who they are to you. Like, if I'm telling this story and it sounds like the divine masculine is you, it's probably you. If I'm reading this story and it sounds like the divine feminine is you, it's probably you. And then understand that while these major energies are playing out in your relationship with other people, they're also playing out in relationship with yourself. So you can identify with almost all the parts in various degrees, almost like a dimmer switch. It can get lighter or darker depending on how much of that you express. So if I'm more forward as a divine feminine and as I'm listening to divine feminine messages, then more than likely almost everything is going to be like, yep. But if I'm more forward divine masculine, this is going to be lower programming. This reading is going to be kind of like a lower programming for me. Maybe I definitely do need to pay attention to what's happening for that divine feminine. But I need to perk up, if you will, when I hear the messages about the divine masculine. So we're always cross reading. Because you're always dealing with multiple energies, right? And so you could do that with tarot. You could do that with astrology as well. Like you probably be more inclined to cross read for energies that you deal with. Like if your partner is a Virgo, you're probably going to read or listen to Virgo messages to kind of just get a background of where they at, where they coming from right now. All right. So, and then along that space, we're getting to know each other. I am gonna go by the kid as my my YouTube alias, but I am a Capricorn as an astrology sign. I do not have my birth chart read, but I do want to get that done at some point. Oh my gosh, I do want to get that done at some point. So that's all I have on that. Okay, so the first the first card that came out in the Wing of Isis spread was this beautiful image of the divine masculine. And the first card asks, what is the real issue for me right now on a spiritual level? And I'm reading from the perspective of the divine feminine. So what is the real issue for her right now? And we see this image first of her again lit up, right? She is in tune. This looks like somebody that is, but like we talk about behind her man, like a co-creator, right? Because he is drawing the crown of his head is her third eye, which is its own powerful imagery. But what is crowning that divine masculine is the divine feminine's connection with source. So if that is at his head, then we then see him just like we see her. Hold tight, let me grab her because we gonna see her. Like we see him just like we see her. This isn't the noob version of this couple. This is the version of this couple has been to war together. They have been to battle together. They have been through it all. They have had people come up against them. They have had things they built fall apart. They have been through it. They have gone to war. They have seen times of peace and prosperity. So these are not folks that, just hanging out. These are no teenage spirits. There's no teenage energy. This is divine feminine and masculine energy expressions that have been here and done this again and again and again. And in this lifetime, they are awakening to the fact that you are now at the master's class. You are now at the head of the master's class. Like you are simultaneously the student in the master's class and the teacher in the master's class. You have a PhD in this shit. Like whatever grungy, dirty, dark, things that life has to offer, you done seen them all. And whatever brilliant, wonderful, and beautiful things that the life has to offer, you have seen them all. And so you are now fully seated and you are now co-creating those things in the world for yourself and for your future generations. You know what I mean? Like, come on. Okay, it's beautiful. So talk about getting through something. Talk about going through a storm and coming out on the other side all the better. Like, how could you be how could you be so sad about it? How could you be so ungrateful when after all the trials and tribulations, this is you? Divine masculine, this is you. After everything that you have been through, this is you. You are strong. You are knowledgeable. You are precise. You are an emperor. You are generous. You are compassionate. You are prepared for battle. But you don't wield your sword for any old freaking reason. You pull it out when it's time to pull up. Right? When they say it's time to pop the trunk. That's when you pull it out. But outside of that, you are a father. Like we just say, you are a father, an emperor, a guider, a king, a teacher, an educator. You don't just go off at the hem, for any little and old thing. So he has her centered and he's ready. He doesn't need to watch his back, right? Because she got him. She got him. He knows that spirit has him. He knows that he was always divinely led and he was never alone. So he, look, step to him if you want, step to him if you want to. Okay, so let me stop playing. Let me read this card. So it says healing. What's important for us divine feminines right now is healing our divine masculine within. The divine masculine within provides protection, discernment, healing, a sense of deep safety and holding, even through the most uncomfortable circumstances of life. Your inner masculine is going through healing right now. That's why you feeling a little off. That's why you're having to step a little harder to some folks right now, because your inner masculine is healing and showing up more for you. in your life. And so you're growing stronger in the ability to offer your inner protection and stability so that your inner feminine can blossom with creative expression. So you are really learning how to stand up and protect yourself. You're really learning that you can do it. You don't need someone to do it for you. It's nice when they do, especially when they do it from a loving place, but you don't need to. You can do the labor. You can get up. You can do the 5 a.m. workout. You can write your business plan. You can file for that LLC. You can go off and have that child on your own if you want to. You can have the career that you want. You can work at the place that you want to work. You can get the job you want. You get the pay you want. You can do what you want to do. You can keep yourself safe. You can take that class. You can get your gun license. You can conceal carry. You can do karate. You can do tai chi. You can do it. Whatever you want to do and whatever is your divine expression of protection, you can offer that to yourself. And then watch, oh my gosh, watch how it shows up in your life when you are confident that you are competent to do it for yourself. So the next card that comes up, card 2, is for the focus for the divine feminist. How can I best heal that in my day-to-day life? So how can I best heal this divine masculine in my day-to-day life? And again, we're reading in that counterclockwise. So how can I best heal this? What can I do today that helps me bring him out? Okay, so I'm done. All right, so we have this beautiful card here. Look at what is at the head to start. Okay, sunlight is beaming down onto this beautiful harvest. This is beautiful energy. How does this help us heal that divine masculine? It says abundance of sothis, and I hope I said that right. Well, I'll look it up when I'm done. It says abundance in many forms is increasing in flow to you. Continue your good work of building channels through which abundance can be delivered to you. Freely share your talents, love, wisdom, and self, and enjoy the abundance responsively flowing to you in many forms over and over again. So how do we heal that divine masculine? What I'm hearing from Source is keep doing what you've been doing. Like, you have been feeling called to abundance. You have been shopping a little more. You've been eating a little better. You've been working out. You've been taking walks. You've been spending time by the water, getting things to smell good, look nice, stepping out, being kind, being generous. Maybe you putting your outfits together a little more than you used to because, y'all, we was locked down, right, for a long time. So maybe we stepping out a little more, and we are creating channels. We're following those LLCs. We're making new connections, making new friends, talking about our dreams and aspirations out loud. Standing up for ourselves. So we are creating channels in which energies of abundance can flow back to us. So the divine feminine is feeling on the come up. If you haven't seen that come up reflected in your life right now, I would suggest really tuning in to gratitude, like looking at your life and what you can be thankful for, because there's always something to be thankful for, and you are always receiving as much as you are giving. So give out that positive energy and prayer for healing, or however you want to say it, thoughts for healing. It doesn't matter because it's the same thought crossing through your mind. Same process, right? So center that. You are being gifted. You are being blessed. You are having abundance flow back to you. Keep pushing it out, and like a wave, sweetie, it's going to come back through diligence, through hard work, through what does this warrior have to do? This man has to study. He has to take care of his temple. He has to move his body. He has to practice. He don't just get here, right? So how does she get to her seat? By continuing to do those things that bring abundance back to her, bring health, wealth, happiness, joy, protection, security, safety, that bring those things back to her. Because when we talk about abundance, we are not just talking about money. You will see it show up in that way. Power. You'll see it reflected that way. But you start taking journaling if you're not. Take a note. Have a gratitude journal. You will see the way that abundance is always with you and always flowing unto you, and that you magnify it when you magnify it. Okay. All right. So card number 3 was that beautiful card of Isis healed and in her seat and in her full power and doing what she does, which is rebirthing, recreating, having that creative spirit, taking nothing and creating a wonderful something. So and all under that sun energy. So card number 3, what will the gift or the outcome of this be? And so reading the back, it says, rising sun. A dark phase and struggle is over. A new phase is upon you. One of hope, glory, light, and triumph. It is won through the boldness and persistence. You have been through much, and now victory is upon you, beloved, for the divine solar child. A new consciousness within you is born. So I've been feeling this. I know if you guys are identifying as divine feminines and masculines, awakening or seated, however you see yourself, I know you've been feeling this new energy, this rising sun of wanting to be outside, wanting to be in the sun, wanting to do more things, wanting to have good fun, go on vacation, be cute, dress up, see the people, get ready, like, whatever. We have been feeling that, and just understand that just like a growth spurt, right? Just like a growth spurt, we understand that concept of like bones healing or growing. You spiritually grow throughout your spiritual journey, which is across many, many lifetimes. So you're going to feel that, like physically, that energetic shift that is happening in your life. So if you've been feeling off, you've had a little cold, you've been feeling a little sick, chest cold, congested, kind of backed up, locked up, go to source. First and foremost, go to source to talk to your doctor, right? These are my opinions. But also, check yourself. Like, look at your life and see, where am I blocking abundance? Am I not eating in congruence with am I not eating to live? Am I not moving my body? Like, am I seating all day? And then restore some balance. Like, if you have to sit for work, then take some breaks and stretch. Or get up and, take a walk around even around your office, even if you're pacing back and forth, like do a couple of lunges or something to just center the fact that you are here and that this temple matters to you, and that you want to be open to being able to receive all forms of abundance in your life. All right. So the next card, the 4th card in our Wings of Isis spread. Look, y'all. I can't even. Okay. Look at him. Look at him. So I'm assuming onto myself that this is some divine masculine energy, because when I look at it, I'm saying, look at him. He's beautiful. Another beautiful expression of divine. He has a purpose. He is prepared and locked and loaded too. Just like that divine masculine was in that human form, this beetle is showing us God's elegance and divine protection and divine preparedness is always, it's in everything, y'all. This is everything. So card 4 is, what is the biggest challenge or opportunity for me to get the best outcome? And it says life restored. Spiritual resurrection is gifted to you now. Whatever part of you in your life you thought to be dead is being revived and will flourish back into life. Just as the phoenix rises from the fire, transitioning from life into death, so too will you rise again, healed and renewed. So I hope that you guys have been feeling and honoring this feeling of this resurrection feeling, because Christ consciousness energy, Earth is now in 4D, has been upgraded. We successfully upgraded as a collective, Earth to 4D energy, to Christ consciousness energy, and so that resurrection, like we think about it like in terms like Jesus Christ, dying, come back to life, but we know that life and death can be a practical life and death, right? Or it can be a feeling of life and death, or it can be a sense of life and death, or maybe you lose something and it feels like a death, and it's because that version of yourself that had that thing with them no longer exists, or now you've gained something, and then that version of you that no longer had, that didn't have that thing, that lacked for that thing, no longer now exists because you are, you have claimed this new reality. So that may come up for you in any kind of, again, this may come up for you in any kind of way. Maybe you're getting rid of old friends. Maybe you are quitting a job you don't like. Maybe you're striking out on your own for the first time. Maybe you're leaving a marriage. Maybe you're, maybe you're you're whatever you're doing, it's in an effort to go towards something that you always wanted or you love to do, or that you've come across that lights you up. When you guys feel that tingly feeling of like joy in your life when you're doing random stuff, and it makes you feel like, oh, I'm like a weirdo because who loves this? And like if you walk around outside and you see pine cones, you're like, oh my god, I want to know everything about that pine cone. Follow that is source talking to you to tell you that that's why you're here this time, is to get it focused, and you're gonna learn majority of your life lessons through getting in tune with that pine cone. So it's why we talk about spirit animals. It's why you see imagery, all these things. So I feel like I'm talking too much about a bunch of stuff, but we are, as divine feminines, the way that we beat this, or best this, because it's never about beating a thing, but the way we best this lesson is by understanding that this is what we're in. We're in the spirit of resurrection. Let things come anew, because it's going to be so much better for you than what you have right now. And so, like, if you have great things right now, it's going to be even better. If the things suck right now, they're going to get better. So just embrace that spirit of change and do the work, because he ain't out here just, ain't nobody bringing nothing into him, right? That's why he out here ready. He's going to do what he has to do to go get that what he needs. All right. And so the fifth and final card for this Isis spread is this beautiful image of the Divine Mother, Master Teacher Isis, in more of her ceremonial clothes, right? We saw her here, seated in her mastery. I don't know. You guys let me know if you like that I bring the cards back up, but we saw her before here in her Empress energy, about her business. Like, she's taking care of things in this image. Here, she's really exalting herself. She's exalted, and she's exalting herself. Like, she is being exalted by all these beautiful things that she has on her, these beautiful robes. She's centering her womb and her creative source. We see her third eye crowned. We see this moon energy behind her, which is divine feminine. There's definitely a lot of lunar energy, and divine masculine more solar energy. But here she is, just perfection. So what is the special guidance is there to help and resolve us in the best way now? And Isis says to us that divine guardian, okay? This is a time of significant spiritual growth and healing for you. You are protected during the times by love and strength of the Divine Mother Isis. Relax and allow your transformation to happen. Your divine guardian protects you now. Let go. Trust unconditionally in what is happening for you, as there is always divine love underneath the surface of the present situation. So Mother Master Teacher Isis is coming in to say, calm down. Like, sis, ill, right? Chill. You are protected. You are divinely guided. You always were, and you always will be. Think about that time that, you were mad at your parents, and you huffed and puffed and turned your back on them. You're like, I hate you. You get on my nerves. You don't understand me. Like, your parents were still your parents at that time. They were still, hopefully, we experienced, again, different degrees in expressions of divine love, but they were still your parents. If they were doing their best, they were still your protectors. They were still there for you. They still love you. They still had that eternal connection with you, even though you felt like, oh, I hate her or I hate him right now. So Mother Isis is saying, relax, my child. Relax, divine feminine. I got you. I've always had you, and I will always have you. You just keep being your great self, and you just keep aspiring unto me. And honey, you're going to have what you need. You're going to have the protection you need. You're going to have whatever it is that you're asking for. So really do take it to your parents, guys. Like, take it to the sun. Take it to the moon. Take it to divine feminine. Take it to divine masculine, and ask them, Mother, Father, Master Teachers, how do I do this? Or help me. Or I got it. I think I can do this. Listen in, because it really is that type of unconditional love, that mother, father, child type of love. Okay? That is what unconditional love, that is what it is. It is that I will love you no matter what, any expression of you, any way that you are, you show up here, and you are loved, you are safe, and you are honored. You are seen. So that is what Mother Isis has for us, I was gonna pull from Mystic Beauty's Easy Tarot, but honestly, I honestly, guys, I really don't feel like I even want to add onto her message. Like, let's let Mother say what she has said what she has said. So, and then there was that. All right. So, I thank you guys for joining me for my very first recorded reading. I plan to do more. And yes, go out there and be your baddest self. Your look, not even your best self. When we talk about live your best life, and again, also understand those energies are collective. So that's why these little catchphrases catch on, because they resonate at a collective level. So live your best life. Now is now. Now doesn't come back. Yesterday happened already. Tomorrow is never promised. This is your moment to go after what you want. And Spirit is really asking us to live in that energy. Like live like this, like the witch. Can you guys see her? I'm gonna bring her down. Like, live like her. With your wand at the ready, you know that you got it. It's all good. You are going forward. You are your full authentic self, and you are moving forward no matter what. And look how good it's always gonna be. You know what I'm saying? Like, you think she ain't never been through something? You think she ain't never had something bad happen to her? But does she look like she's sitting around moping and going, oh my God, Spirit can't stand me. He hate me. He want me to suffer. No, she knows that her parents always want good things for her. All right, guys. Light and blessings to all of you. I love you. Have a beautiful day.